evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Malcolm Hightower, your host for today's performance. I'd like to welcome you to Lift Theater's Mystery Theater of the Air. We're pleased to have you in our studio audience. Before I go any further, may I ask that you silence your cell phones. It's been a long year since we've looked in on Mr. Mac Blac, Little Falls' only professional problem solver. Here he is now in his fourth floor office in the Snyder Apartments, watching the quiet street below in the city that goes to bed too early. The decor is simple, but Mr. Blac is a simple, no-nonsense man. We see a desk, several chairs, a couch, a table with a few copies of Mohawk Valley Express. But the desk looks new. And is that real leather on the couch? But we recognize the coat rack which sports a foam cheese. Mr. Blac is standing at the window looking out over Main Street. Sunset is getting earlier each day. It's a clear night and the moon is close to full. The evening air is chilly and Mac has just closed the window. The office has a new construction smell. You can almost see the tags still on the furniture. Is something afoot? But it is a quiet evening in Little Falls for Mac Blac, the only professional problem solver in the Little Falls phone book, finishes another day of ironing the kinks out of everyday life in the only city in Herkimer County.
It's hard to believe that this is my old office. It's been a long year in the bank building, while the owner of this building did major upgrades and renovations. Upgrades and renovations. Those are words I don't often use. I'm a problem solver, and I find that too much change makes for more problems than it solves. It is good to be back on this side of North Ann Street. More room for my files, and Cressida has much more space, and 2 conference rooms. I'm not sure how she talked me into that. And a coffee maker and something the catalog called an office refrigerator, with a workroom and a galley kitchen. Cressida has some ideas. Ever since she took those small business development courses, she's been getting us ready for the 21st century. Tomorrow will be our first full day at these new digs. I wonder what it will bring.
Are you a cheese lover? Yes, you're in the right place. Today's performance by the players of Lift Theater is brought to you by the Little Falls Cheese Festival. Cheese for one, cheese for all.
This is the office of Mac Blac and Associates.
Mac Blac and Associates?
The office is currently closed. Please leave a message.
I know you're in there. I see your car parked on the street. What's with the answer machine or voicemail or whatever I'm supposed to call it now? Pick up the phone, Mac. Pick it up.
Okay, Harry, I hear you. I don't know what buttons to push, Harry. Can you hear me?
Just hang it up and come downstairs. I've got a table at the Renaissance. I'll be there.
Can't do it, Harry. I've got work to do. All this moving put me behind. And Cressida's got this, what does she call it? Grand opening gala. For a while I thought she was going to make me rent a tuxedo.
Come down to the Renaissance, Mac. Right now. There's something you've got to see.
I've seen enough in the past year. I need some time to figure out where the paper clips are stored. At least they didn't move the bathroom.
Mac, forget about the paper clips and toilets. There's something here you've got to see.
Maybe you could just text me a picture.
It's Bobby.
I see Bobby in the office every couple days, Harry. What's so special? Is he doing a Verdi aria? Skateboarding on the bar?
But this is real news.
You're telling me it's news that Bobby has stopped at the Renaissance? I know he used to be a regular at the Happen Inn, but...
You've just got to see.
Has Has he dyed his hair purple or shaved his head?
He's got a date.
Harry, that's not my business. The job of apprentice problem solver does not require a vow of celibacy.
But nobody recognizes her.
I'm not sure why that matters.
Where did he meet her? Tyler doesn't recognize her. When the Walker brothers were here, they never saw her before.
Warren and Willie, the Walker twins? What have they got to do with this?
Damn. Too late. They just left.
Who left? The Walker boys?
You wouldn't believe it, Mac.
I've been in Little Falls for close to 20 years. At this point, I'll believe just about anything.
Gotta go. Maybe Wilma knows something.
Maybe Wilma knows something. Words to live by. So much for a few minutes of solitude. What's got Harry riled up this time? And his hypertension. Tomorrow will tell, unless there's a new crisis right here on Main Street.
I know. Some of you have already been visiting the individual cheese booths. You have seen with your very own eyes and tasted for yourself. From Chev to cheddar, there's a cheese for every one of you. Just out there on Main Street.
Boss! Boss! Good morning, boss! Boss, are you ready? Boss?
I'm glad Cressida didn't talk me into carpeting. I like the click-click of those red stilettos as she walks in each morning.
Boss! Boss!
The best legs this side of Schenectady and a brain that's even better.
Mr. Black, can I get your attention? Are you ready?
Good morning, Cressida. Why, yes, of course I'm as ready as possible for another day of total upheaval.
First she moves me across the street to oversee this, whatever it is. Then we have to take a week to move back across the street. And Harry is reporting on Bobby. At least I have my old view back.
Boss, are you okay?
In a world where Harry Da Vinci has appointed himself the romance police,
The-
of course I'm okay.
The romance police.
Oh, never mind.
Boss, you cannot put Harry's name in a sentence with romance police and expect me to drop the subject.
It's just that Harry gets worked up. You know how he is. He always wants to know what everybody's up to. Says his business means he's got to be. What is it he says? He needs to know the pulse of the community.
Harry says a lot of things that have nothing to do with pulses and romance. This is new. Is he in love?
Harry, in love? How should I know? We're friends, but we're not 11-year-old girls.
Enough, boss. Get your head on straight. I'm leaving now. I'm going out. And then I'm coming back in, and we'll start this morning over, okay?
Am I missing something?
That's definitely something that I've missed. That sound of Cressida coming through the door. I didn't realize how much I missed it. The temporary office had some modern floor stuff that muted everything.
Good morning, boss. Are you ready?
So we really are starting the day over. Just press the restart button and it's a brand new day. First day in this new version of the office of Mr. Mac Blac of Little Falls. Still the only problem solver in the Little Falls phone book. And there still is a Little Falls phone book. Barely.
Did you hear me, boss? Are you okay? You've got that faraway look on your face. Were you up late moon gazing last night?
Moon gazing? Why not? I can't even find the paper clips in this place. At least the moon is constant.
Boss, I've never seen you like this. What's going on? You were fine yesterday.
I didn't get my end of the day meditation time yesterday.
Let me get you some coffee. Decaf. Relax. The office looks great. The caterer will be here at 1 and the grand opening is set for 2. The mayor will cut the ribbon.
Did I know we had scheduled a ribbon cutting?
It was Harry's idea. I suppose he's a firm believer in photographable events.
Sounds like Harry. I suppose you have giant scissors.
I borrowed the giant scissors from the city clerk's office. I was going to buy a new pair, but then my friend Lisa said they had one.
Of course. And who's singing the national anthem? Katie Drake?
Boss, now you're just being difficult. She's a little busy in a place somewhere.
Well, I guess I just want to get back to work. I solve problems. This is a working office, not some sort of, what do they call it? Entertainment venue.
And about the national anthem.
Don't tell me.
Wilma's songsters are going to sing the Erie Canal song, all 5 verses.
Wilma's songsters?
Boss!
Do they wear fringe and sequins?
And News Channel 2 is coming, and the newspaper might even run some actual local news, not another article about those Girl Scouts in Kingston.
Well, if we're having a party this afternoon instead of getting down to business, I've got a few loose ends to tie up on that barbecue sauce recipe ownership dispute.
Barbecue sauce? Boss, what are you talking about?
Given how much I don't know about what's going on around here, I might as well be talking about UFOs.
Ooh, did you see the report over the weekend? They've got a new name for UFOs.
Who's got a new name?
The DNI and the Office of Naval Intelligence.
The DNI? Cressida, are you okay? Did you sit out in the sun too long?
I saw it on C-SPAN. It was in a report to some congressional committee.
Cressida, you're watching C-SPAN on the weekends?
You knew that.
I did.
I was telling you about the report on new policies regarding family-operated dairy farms a couple of months ago.
Sure. Apparently I forgot about the C-SPAN part. What's the DNI? Dairy Nerds Incorporated?
Boss, you sure are a cranky pants today. It's the Director of National Intelligence.
Oh, of course. Here I am trying to figure out where all my manila file folders have gone.
Your manila file folders?
Yes, my manila file folders.
They're gone. We got to deal with the new office furniture, a suite of office products, and a color-coded filing system. I know you don't like to keep your important data on the computer, but at least this pushes us into the 1980s.
Is that why you and Bobby have been huddled in the conference room? There, I said it. The conference room.
Admit it, boss, business is booming. I don't know, are there more problems? Or is it just that people are too busy to solve them, so they come to us?
Let's leave the philosophy till later. The inevitable is upon us.
And we're having a party to celebrate.
And folks, if you're planning a party, don't forget excellent Herkimer County cheese available right after the show.
The 4th floor office of Mac Blac and Associates is decorated with balloons and streamers. Every surface is polished.
Mr. Black? Mr. Black? Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Cressida says this is the green conference room. Wilma's in my office doing something with flags.
Ah, there you are.
As I said, here I am. Is something wrong?
Well, it's for my friend from Spokane.
Did you say spoke Ann?
That's what my friend says.
Is your request related to Wilma's songsters?
Eh? Well, I mean, excuse me?
Nothing to be concerned about, Bobby. I'm not adjusted to the new headquarters yet. I'm just a simple problem solver.
Well, that's what we need. My friend has a problem. Well, not exactly a problem, more of a search. Yeah, that's it, a search.
Well, fire away. I really don't need to think about Cressida's gala. It will capture me soon enough.
My friend is looking for someone. Someone from Little Falls, we think. Actually, we're pretty sure. But we don't know his name, address, or anything.
Well, let me start with a couple of questions so we don't waste time on something that has little chance of resolution.
Well, like they say on TV, the subject is male. And we think he's maybe 60 or 70 years old. That's it.
Not much, Bobby. Why do you think he's from Little Falls?
He called himself Skyboy and signed his letters with the coordinates for Little Falls. 43 degrees, 4 minutes, 34 seconds north, 74 degrees, 85 minutes, 96 seconds west.
Letters?
They're all folded like they were in envelopes, but there's no envelopes with addresses, postmarks, or any of that stuff.
And his age?
My friend thinks he's around the age of someone else they know.
Maybe a little information about your friend would help. And why the search?
My friend put together this file. It's about an uncle who died. It's got everything we know. Could you take a look at it now?
I'm not optimistic, but of course, I can look over this material and we can talk after the gala.
Thank you. I'm gonna take my friends now for a tour around the city, especially the historical stuff about cheese.
Of course your friend wants a cheesy tour. Bring him or her back for the party and we'll talk after.
I assume this friend is the subject of Harry's frantic phone call.
And there's more than just cheese available. Sausage, salsa, mincemeat and vinegars, jams and jellies, even gourmet oils. Even fudge is available here in Cheese Central.
Sylvia's late.
Sylvia? Who is Sylvia?
You know Sylvia, she always sings the descants.
The descants?
Yes, ever since she was 8 years old and saw Jeanette MacDonald sing the descant of San Francisco in that old movie with Clark Gable.
Of course we're talking about Clark Gable. Who even remembers who he was?
I'm sure it'll be fine. Sylvia's always late. She needs time to put on her eyelashes.
This is a place of business, a haven for confidentiality and discretion. And we're talking about false eyelashes and falsetto voices. And there's Harry coming through the door carrying giant scissors.
Boss, are you daydreaming again?
Hope I'm not late. Lisa gave me the scissors.
You're fine, Harry. The caterers will be here in an hour. They'll set up in the green conference room and the songsters are tuning up in Mac's private office. This may be our old address, and you're still hyperventilating, but this is a new world.
I wish you'd seen them.
Hello might have been a good start for the conversation, Harry. Or congratulations on the grand opening. Or maybe, how are things?
Shoot, Mac, you can really be a pompous patootie.
A pompous patootie? Did you miss lunch, Harry?
I'm talking about Bobby. Bobby and the woman he was with.
Bobby and the woman he was with. I told you last night, Harry, Bobby's business is Bobby's business.
La 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 la.
Is that Wilma? I'm gonna talk to her. Maybe she knows about the lady friend.
Good idea. She's much better at gossip than I am.
I guess Bobby's friend is the woman of mystery from last night.
That's your cell, Mac.
Do you have it?
Check the bookshelf in the green conference room.
We've only been back a day, but I already missed the world where I just had one desk to lose my cell phone on.
I can't find it, Cressida.
Don't worry, it'll go to voicemail and I'll take care of it.
I'm Nick.
I had inferred that.
Celia's at the coffee shop.
Celia?
That's what I said, Celia.
May I assume that Celia is your mystery friend?
Yeah, she's my friend, but I don't think she's a mystery.
But she is your friend from Spokane.
Yes, my friend from Spokane.
Well, I've been reading the file, and I have a few ideas. But I'd like more information about this friend.
I told you about her, Mr. Black, after I came back from that seminar of wood grains in Chicago.
Oh yes, I didn't remember the name. I remembered your trip to Chicago, of course, but I didn't remember that your friend was a woman from Spokane. What is she doing at the wood grain seminar?
She wasn't at the wood grain seminar. I met her at the hotel, at the breakfast buffet. I was going back for my third waffle.
3 waffles. Interesting.
She didn't have a waffle and asked me if they were good.
And I suppose you said yes. It was, after all, your third.
Oh, she didn't know I already had 2.
So she wasn't at the wood grain seminar.
No, she'd been in Wisconsin for a week, interviewing family dairy farms, especially ones who produce cheese.
Any special cheeses? I think you can never go wrong with a fine aged white cheddar. New York produces some fine white cheddar. But what about your friend?
She's a grad student in cheese at Wazoo.
Wazoo?
That's what people in the Pacific Northwest call Washington State University.
Wazoo. Who knew? But I'm not sure I understand. A graduate student in cheese.
She's known all about cheese and cows and dairies and stuff.
So she was in Chicago visiting urban dairies.
Not exactly. After a week in medicine at the university, she stopped in Milwaukee. I'm not sure why. Something about her uncle and latitudes, I think. But she was flying home from Chicago. She had an extra weekend, so she wanted to see the lake and the big museums.
Is that why she's here now? Cheesemakers?
She told me about her family dairy project, so I told her about Little Falls.
Was she interested?
She got kind of excited, knew about Little Falls, and I invited her to come here.
You must have liked her right off the bat.
Then it was weird. She recited some map coordinates and got this funny expression on her face. Looked at the sky.
I hope they don't tell me she was looking for cheese on the moon.
Boss and Bobby, there you are. It's 1:50. Look around you. The party's about to start.
Whatever you say, Cressida.
And just one more thing. I invited her to the party, like you said.
Well, Bobby, a friend of yours is a friend of mine.
The whole crew of Mac Blac regulars are celebrating the reopening of the new look offices of Mac Blac Associates. Food and champagne and good spirits mark this day of new beginnings for the only professional problem solver in the Little Falls phone book.
Wow, what a grand opening. This really was a gala. Oh, Wilma, you and the songsters were great. The whole party was a success.
And Channel 2 recorded us singing. I think we'll be on the 11 o'clock news tonight.
And the mayor came through, as usual. He's got a real flair with those ceremonial scissors.
It did go well. And during the toast, I thought Harry was hitting the champagne a little too hard. When he started dancing me around the office, I was kind of surprised. Did you see him tip me?
Everyone had a good time. And Bobby's friend was quite a hit. That cheese she brought, wow.
Cheese in a can. Who knew? Cougar Gold, she called it. Right here in Little Falls, the one-time center of the cheese world.
She meant it as a present for Mac, I think, but you know how it is. Open it up and share it with everybody.
And what a crowd.
Have you seen Mr. Black?
Oh, hi, Bobby. I thought you'd already left.
No, I went with Celia over to the hotel so she could extend her stay for another night. She's got a flight tomorrow and was going to stay at the Holiday Inn Express near the Albany Airport. And I suggested that she could stay here and drive over in the morning.
Well, now, Bobby, is this Celia somebody special?
Well, you're worse than Mr. Da Vinci.
What's Harry got to do with it?
Oh, nothing, really. Just kind of, we were at the Renaissance last night.
So you're looking for Mac?
Yeah, he said he could help Celia with something, and she's just got this evening.
He was talking to the mayor in the gray conference room.
The gray conference room?
You know, Bobby, the color-coded filing system.
Oh, right. Mr. Black did mention that. Does that mean I work in the green conference room?
Actually, yes. You'll get used to it. You've got your own file cabinet and shelves.
Gone are the days when you walked me home from the Happen Inn after a few beers.
Yeah, now you're a professional researcher with your very own file cabinet and files.
I hadn't thought of it quite that way.
I need to check the last guests and clear things with the caterer. I'll tell Mac you're looking for him. Hey, maybe we can all meet for a drink later. I'll check with Mac and text you if it works out.
The sun is glinting over the treetops to the west, and the last guests are leaving.
I thought everyone was gone. Quite a party. As usual, you did a bang-up job, Cressida. Who could guess we had 60 people through here today? Though I noticed that the giant scissors is still on the table in the back room.
That's the green conference room.
Right.
Maybe Bobby can return the scissors to City Hall when it reopens.
Oh, no need. I'll take care of that. He might be busy in the morning. And did you see Bobby? He was looking for you.
Yes, he's bringing Celia back later. She's a client now.
Oh, okay. I'll give you a call later. See how that goes.
Of course.
Cressida never calls me in the evening except for a crisis. Is something else besides coffee percolating?
All right, Mac Blac fans, if you haven't stopped by the food truck court yet, be sure to try their offerings. or head over to Little Falls restaurants. Today is about food and fun.
The sun has set, but the afterglow is still lighting up the view of the valley from Mac Blac's office window. Mr. Blac is musing at the scene. That's something we've seen before.
It's almost 7. Bobby and his friend should be back. I was only across the street for the year, but everything's better on this side. Bobby's friend has an interesting request. Find her uncle's pen pal from the 60s. And all she has is Skyboy and Little Falls. She seems like a bright young woman, and she is a graduate student in animal science. Her request, though, we shall see. Oh, there they are now, walking up the hill from the travel lodge. This is interesting. Their shoulders are brushing and, yes, they're holding hands. Maybe Harry was onto something. But that's Bobby's business. Mine is finding Skyboy.
Mr. Black, we're back.
Come on in. I'm in my office. It's across from the green conference room.
We're back.
I see that. Have a seat. Bobby and Celia, I didn't get your last name.
What's it?
Celia, may I assume that we're on a first name basis?
Of course, Mr. Black.
I looked at your file on Skyboy. You don't have much information, but you've certainly drawn connecting lines for your investigation, or should I say, search.
Like I said in the cover letter, it all goes back to Uncle Bucky. He wasn't really my uncle. He was my dad's uncle, much younger than his brothers. He was more like a brother to his nephews and nieces, but the age thing is where it all started. His mother, my grandmother, always called Bucky her gift from the heavens. She was almost 50 when he was born.
Yes, I got that from your materials.
What I did put in the letter was the look she got in her eyes, and the way she would look up and point in the same place in the east when she called him that.
We're not getting into some self-appointed messiah thing. My problem solving stops at the door marked religion.
I suspect you're thinking I'm some kind of wacko now. I'm not. My science training has taught me to start with what I know and see, and question even that.
That's good to hear. I was a little worried. But Bobby's got the makings of a promising investigator himself, so I assumed this would be a question that we could pursue.
My grandparents lived next door until I was 16, and Bucky lived with them. So I certainly did see that look many times. Bucky was a Jippo logger, and he worked in Eastern Oregon. He'd work a few months and get some money, then he'd come back home and read about the stars. He had a great collection of astronomy material, and he used to go camping in places where the stars were especially bright, away from ambient lighting.
He must have been quite a guy.
I owe my science to him, but I've always been interested in earthbound subjects.
So where does cheese fit in?
It sounds silly, but it does. Uncle Bucky was quite an amateur astronomer, but he was also pretty good at making up stories. Until I started school, I really believed that the moon was made of green cheese and the stars were diamonds in the sky.
Celia knows a lot of things. She reads and studies all the time.
I can see that, Bobby. No need to defend her.
Thank you for listening, Mr. Black.
That's Mac, Celia.
Of course, Mr. Black.
Cressida has been telling me that I should be more informal with younger clients. Apparently it doesn't work.
So tell me more about how this fits in with Skyboy Little Falls.
This is where you have to trust me, Mr. Black. When I first told Bobby, he was a bit skeptical. Even my father has trouble believing it. But of course, Grandma was always in Bucky's corner.
Go on.
I didn't know anything about it until I was starting high school. Uncle Bucky took one of his get away from it all vacations. They were really more like pilgrimages than vacations. He went to Area 51.
Yes, I got that in your materials.
Of course, civilians can't really go to Area 51,
But there are lots of towns and touristy places outside the restricted areas. He hung out there for a while. I don't really know how long. I was a teenager by then. Uncles were great, but teenage boys were a lot more interesting. And cows. I was in 4-H by then.